All right, hello Instagram family. Hello, Instagram. How you doing? Let's go. All right, Instagram family. It's Worthy Wednesday, and I thought it would be a good time to take a quick peek into your money. So I'm going to use a deck that I don't use that often called Your Sacred Wealth Code. So I'm going to pull a card to look at where you are with your money right now, who it is your money is asking you to be in order to create more abundance. And then I will read the message from that card and we'll pull some tarot to clarify in terms of giving you some advice on how to become this archetype of abundance. Okay, so this will be a pick a card reading. I'm going to lay out 3 cards for you to choose from. Here they come. All right, so we have number 1, number 2, number 3. Go ahead and tune in, choose which one calls out to you, and we will get started. Okay, if you chose number 1, ooh, this is interesting. We have the communicator. This is ruled by Mercury. It says your words have power. So this is about being truthful, being outspoken, being flexible, clear-minded, quick, right? Intelligent, open-minded, intuitive, and discriminating, and also articulate when it comes to your words. For me, this is saying to be able to clearly express, identify, and then express what it is you want to create, and be sure that your words match up with what it is you're wanting to create at this time, right? So you can't say you want to create abundance and then all you're talking is lack, right? You can't say you want to build a successful business, but then when you're talking about your business, all you're talking about is the challenges of it. Also, you have to be able to speak up for yourself and what it is that you are wanting. So if you want the raise, you have to be able to express that, right? The purpose of this card talks about being able to speak the truth. I love that. Being able to speak the truth, illuminate your ideas with clarity, and offer understanding for the positive growth of what it is you are creating, right? The shadow side of this, you're overwhelmed, you're sarcastic, you're blunt, you're pessimistic, you're negative in your speaking, right? The communicator understands the power of words and understands that words have creation power, right? So uses those words to create effectively. We're going to pull 3 clarifiers just to get some advice on why this came out for you at this time. So what's going on that this came out for you at this time? Why are you needing to really hone in on your speech at this time when it comes to your abundance, right? Maybe even needing to add some affirmations to your daily routine. I know it really helps me. Okay, yeah, so we have the 7 of Swords, which to me can symbolize running from the truth, right? It can symbolize miscommunication. It can symbolize manipulation. And look, the raven on this card, the crow on its card has its mouth wide open, but it doesn't look like it's saying anything good, right? So your mouth may be wide open, but maybe you need to close it up a little bit, monitor what it is you're saying a little more closely. This may also mean that you need to close your mouth, right? Maybe not talk so much, and instead of talking about it, be about it, okay? Yeah, look, Page of Swords. Page of Swords to me is a thinking card, learning. So maybe there's some more things you need to learn before you speak about them, right? Before you start speaking on things, maybe start learning a few more things. And then we have the 9 of Swords, right? And this is because you're worried about some things. There's some uncertainty, doubt, fear. And if this is what's coming up in your spirit, if this is what's on your heart, if this is what's on your mind, this is likely what's coming out of your mouth. So you need to clean that up. Okay, if you chose number 2, Ooh, we have the king, which is ruled by the sun. I like this. So this is about things being illuminated. This is about leadership, confidence. The affirmation on this card says, I powerfully lead my mission, right? So this is about having power, being passionate, being courageous, being responsible, being innovative, decisive, right? The king, the Lion King, is definitely a leader of his own pride. Yes, he heads the pride. And so this card talks about using your power to grow, to expand something, right? For the greater good, to excel at something, right? And in the shadow side of it, it means being a little bit too dominating, controlling, greedy, feeling entitled, right? You want to make sure that you're watching out for anything like that at this time. When you're operating in the light side of this card, in the light aspects, you're responsible, you're confident, you're creative, and you lead other people with love, right? You have no doubts about the security that you're creating because you have so much of that good Leo confidence. You may even be a Leo sign, have some Leo somewhere in your chart, may want to check that. Let's get some clarifiers about why this is coming up for you at this time. Why do you need to be the king when it comes to creating your abundance at this time? Let's see. Oh, look at that. We have Seven of Swords again. Wow. So there's some shady dealings happening, right? You don't want to cut corners here. Leaders don't cut corners. They take responsibility. They do things the right way. They don't run away from their responsibility. They run towards it. And then we have the Three of Cups. And leaders know how to work well with other people, right? Great leaders make other great leaders. That's why they're leaders. So with this Three of Cups, you know, I feel like you're coming together with others and rejoicing, celebrating, being able to work with one another, everybody being able to put their ideas at the table and be respected, right? So not cutting anyone out, not feeling cut out, right? And in order to be in that energy, it's wise to step into your leadership qualities. You have to sometimes, particularly when your insecurities, your doubts show up. With that Seven of Swords, I feel like some of that may be showing up, right? And I love on this card, the sun, which is what the king is ruled by, is shining down on this person. So kind of highlighting some areas where you may need to shore up some things inside of yourself, right? Where you may feel a little less than, feel like you have to be on the defensive or be like overcompensate. I'm feeling like you need to let that go so that you can work better with those around you, come together in peace and harmony with those around you at this time to create whatever it is you need, because you're not a one-man band. Look at that, King of Swords, right? This is about clear-mindedness, intelligence. King of Swords. Oh, no. This is Knight of Swords. Oh, wow. But something there for you, right? That Freudian slip, there may be something there for you. Knight of Swords is very determined, but could also be a little bit obsessive as well as aggressive. So needing to tone things down, I feel like with this Seven of Swords energy, that's a dangerous combination to have the Knight of Swords show up as well. So you don't want to get too zoned in on one way of doing things or one target, right? Needing to really spread your wings here. See how this hawk flying above has its wings spread open. Needing to spread your wings, spread your perspective a little bit, and maybe set your sights a little higher from a higher perspective. I feel like that's what will help you take ownership and take leadership of your abundance at this time. Okay, if you chose number 3, ooh, we have the Administrator. I feel like this is the card about taking care of business, right? Crossing your T's, dotting your I's, ruled by Saturn, karmic energy. So needing to make sure all your ducks are in a row, make sure that you've built a solid foundation, right? I love that there's a nest here because there's some things that still may not be ready to hatch yet. And that's because there's still some work for you to do, right? And understanding that while you're still very much in the creative process, like this card says, you're walking with one foot in both the earthly and the spiritual worlds. Understanding that there is a place where you need to be in both areas in order to manifest, right? One can't live without the other. So this is about being practical and grounded, strategic, disciplined, and at the same time understanding that there's, that magic is real and that you don't just create from your efforts, right? Your physical efforts. There's some spiritual efforts that has to take place as well. And Saturn is a planet that talks about limitations, controls, being able to master things, taking responsibility, and time, right? Understanding that things take time. Very important with this administrator card. And what I like about this card is it talks about being a grounded, social service oriented leader who preserves and uplifts humanity, right? So this is not someone who is totally all out for self. This is someone who recognizes that they can create abundance for themselves and for the greater good of all at the same time, right? But they have to do so responsibly. They have to put practical systems and structures in place, right? And they cannot take on too much, right? Because this is when this person gets into their shadow, when they take on too much, or when they have a limited viewpoint, they're not able to see all sides of an issue, or they let their inner critic take hold, right? So being able to organize your energy for the success of your projects, really, really important at this time. Let's pull some tarot cards to see why this may be coming up right now for you. Let's take a look. Oh, and I have a card flipped over. That Seven of Swords wanting to pop up. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. That Seven of Swords energy is dominant right now when it comes to being able to create more abundance, right? And with Seven of Swords, it can represent the need to have a very keen, nimble mind to overcome insecurities, right? Sometimes we use our intelligence to repress. Look, it came out again. Look, you saw me shuffle those cards. So I'm just going to go ahead and just hone in on the Seven of Swords real quick, right? I feel like there's some insecurities that are coming up in general for every particular energy that came out in this reading. So the insecurity around the abundance and your financial well-being at this time, got to cut that out, right? Because this card, I do not like to see this card. This is like sneakiness. This is manipulation. This is feeling like somebody's one-upping you. This is thievery. This is just downright misunderstandings. This is not being able to see things clearly, right? And feeling like you have to get over in some way in order to have what's yours. So that energy really needs to be considered as you move forward, because there's no creation in that energy, and that's not the energy that you want to try to operate in when you're trying to create more abundance in your life. That will keep you stuck, okay? And since it showed up in every one of the readings we've done in this pick a card, I'm going to say that's a message for everyone, no matter what number you chose, right? Mind your manners at this time. Mind your thoughts too, right? Look, Page of Cups. Don't forget who you are, right? The Page of Cups knows who they are. The Page of Cups comes from the heart center. They have a heart-centered awareness, particularly when it comes to their abundance, understanding where the supply comes from And it's not from your efforts, and it's definitely not from the material world. I have an affirmation that I always love to use that helps me ground into that, and it goes like this: God is my instant and everlasting supply, meeting all of my needs in divine order, right? Understanding that your worthiness, your material abundance actually does not come from your job, even though that may be where you get the check from or the coins from. It does not come from your clients. It does not come from your business. It does not come from you and your efforts, right? God is your instant and everlasting supply. God is your source of all things, right? That's having a heart-centered awareness, understanding that the universe will supply, right? Your cup will be filled. Your cup will be filled, right? So really leaning into that at this time to help you move out of the Seven of Swords energy. Yeah, Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles understands that something new is ready to be birthed and created. Page of Pentacles is ambitious, but also at the same time has learned some things and is a little bit wiser, right? Is not allowing desire to fully take hold and lead, right? They have their desire, they're aware of their desire, but they move forward with wisdom and expertise. Now, this is just a page though, right? So pages still have a lot of learning to do. So they're diligent and they're open to learning, but they're clear that there's something new. There's a new opportunity to be created. And so they hone in on that. They focus on that versus the lack. Okay? And I love that at the bottom of the deck, I feel like this is the overall energy. This is the World card. So this is just a lesson, no matter what number you chose, right? This is just a lesson that's being played out right now, understanding where your supply comes from, understanding that there is much more to be created, but it's up to you to create it. And it starts by how you are feeling and thinking and believing inside. Has to start there. You got to clean up the stuff that's been implanted, you know, the programs, the negative beliefs, the negative thought patterns, the fears that have been implanted over the past few months based on what's occurring and what you may be seeing, right? Not getting trapped into those illusions. So thank you so much for tuning in to this reading. I really, really appreciate you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the little heart. Follow me if you don't already, and we will talk again soon. Peace.